मैम।
हेलो।
हेलो मैम।
हाँ जी सर, बोलिए।
मैडम, जो मेरे कैलेंडर में आ रहा है वही करूँ ना क्लिक? ठीक है मैम। ओके।
अभी आ रहा है ना?
हाँ, मेरे आ रहा है। जी जी। हेलो।
हाँ जी सर।
मैडम, अभी मैंने वेडनेसडे को कोई बंदा नहीं आया था मेरे उसमें, मतलब उसमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम थी क्या?
आईटी में ना कभी कभी दिक्कत दिखाता नहीं है, उसमें तो पहले हो जाता है, पार्टिसिपेंट्स नंबर नहीं दिखाता है, लेकिन वो बच्चे आते हैं बैकग्राउंड।
ठीक है। ओके।
मेरे पास नहीं है, मेरे पास नहीं है, वो आप ही के पास है। ठीक है, मैंने इतने सारे कार्ड्स पे।
Hello friends, good evening to you. Can you all hear me? Just say yes or no so that I can start the session in 2 minutes. So is the screen visible to you all? Are you all listening to me? Yes or no? Simple yes will do. Okay, simple yes or no will do. So we will start of the class and so we have done the questions on economic order quantity, EOQ plus reorder level plus maximum quantity plus what is the reorder quantity and what is the minimum level. So we have done the questions on the same. So is there any doubt in front of you or no? Can you proceed further? No. So I am proceeding further. So pricing on purchase of material. That means you will first purchase the material and then you will do the pricing. So the accounts of the store does based on the fundamental principle that all material purchased shall be charged to the suspense account stock in the first instance, though the material purchased may be for a particular work and are chargeable ultimately to works for which the material are required. So material first is debited to suspense account, but secondly, this is a short time entry. This is okay. One question regarding payroll. You want to disturb the class? Okay, ask the question. Page number what? Page number is visible on the screen. Pricing of purchase of material. Uh, you want to know the page number? This is page number 38. Page number 38. Yeah, one question regarding payroll you want to ask. What is the question? Okay, so I should continue. So first thing is it is debited to suspense account and then it is debited to respective process account. Okay, so requirement of material of work is estimated with reference to the approved budgets and purchase order are placed by the competent authority. That means the competent authority is the senior manager. Okay, senior manager has to approve and then the material will come. The supplies against these orders will be arrive into the stores. That means the senior management has approved the purchase and has given the requisition. So based on the requisition that this material will come. And the value of the supplies will be debited to stock suspense account, creating the supplier account. Okay. First entry is because in the initial stage, we don't know the purpose of this material. So we will debit to suspense account and then it will be debited to process account, work in progress account. Okay. All material received should be examined. So the material which you receive it. So is there a technical guy who will check the material, weight it, or measure it as the case may be? So are they as per the approved quality or are they as per the approved what is given as specification in the work order? So they have to specify the quality of material and the quality of material should cater to the requirements. Okay. And wherever the quality of material is different from what is required, the material may be sent back by the custodian with assistance of work charge staff provided for the purpose. After taking delivery of materials and after verification and check measurement, the receipt of the material is recorded in. What you will do is you will receive the material in store's receipt book. You will maintain the following books in the stores. One is store receipt book. So whatever are the material you receive in, you will enter in the store receipt book. This is the initial record and serve the purpose of measurement book so far as stores are concerned. The pages of the store receipt book are in triplicate. So you will see, uh, just one second. Yeah. So in between, you will find some question material. For example, the question can be the pages of the store receipt book are what? Are in duplicate, are in triplicate, or in quadruplicate, or in 5 series. So you will have to tick the right answer. They are in triplicate. Store receipt book are pages are in triplicate and they are serially numbered, machine numbered. Okay. Page number I have told. LAS, LR, uh, what is it? I don't understand. Chali. General procedures and rules for the purchases. All the purchases should be made in a transparent, competitive, and fair manner to secure the best value. So the organization which is fair will do the purchases in a transparent manner. That means everything is fair and visible to all. This will enable the bidders to formulate and send their competitive bids with confidence. Wherever the company does not do it fairly, so there the suppliers tend to bypass the process. So wherever the company does it fairly, there the suppliers do not bypass the process. They simply adhere the process and send the copies, the formalities with normally the process. All purchases shall be initiated with the approval of store manager. Where store manager is the key, he will approve all purchases. An indent for the item will be raised specifying detailed specification of the items required and the estimated value for the approval of store manager. Store manager may redelegate power of appropriate level of officer where necessary. So store level will redelegate the powers. That means is he on leave, he will delegate to somebody else. Is he on vacation, he will delegate the power to somebody else. So he will redelegate the powers wherever required. Okay. Purchase, there is a process that wherever goods are to be purchased, they are with minimum 3 quotations. Goods are to be purchased with minimum 3 quotations. But wherever quotations are not there, okay, there will have to adhere to the following steps. Purchase of goods without quotation. That is small items which you purchase very sparingly or infrequently, जैसे कि स्टोर आइटम हो गई, स्टेशनरी हो गया थोड़ा सा, या पेन हो गए थोड़े से. तो this will be required once in 3 months or once in 6 months. So all small value purchases can be made directly by the purchaser from the market, including telephonic inquiry or through the stores and purchase section. Such purchase shall be done by following procedure. Type now, you are saying something to me. Which chapter is going on? Chapter is about the inventory. Okay, you take 28% as overtime hours. One is 100 is regular hours and 28% overtime hours. 72% less. That means 28%. 28% if you take, that you will get the answer. So I will do this working for you and I will show it to you. Next, in the next class, I will show it to you working. Triplicate means 3 copies. Okay. Are we okay? Going ahead. Purchase of goods without quotations. That is that small material is purchased without quotation, but a procedure has to be followed. That is first directly by the purchaser through an advance drawn for the purpose. So suppose you want to purchase some stationery items where you will get the advance, you will go to the shop and you will purchase it. But before that, specifically purchases have to be done by the following order. The advance shall be subsequently adjusted by using the contingent advance adjustment from supported by cash memo, bill receipt, and proof of entry in the appropriate stock register. Intimation must be sent to purchase stores and purchase section in case of NCS and LTS item of entry for entry in asset register. There are two new terms for you, NCS and LTS. Just go to the last page of the chapter. You will find the meaning of these two items. We'll go to the last page right now. Yeah, here it is written. NCS is non-consumable stores. Non-consumable stores are the stores which are intended to be used over the prolonged period before becoming unusable or obsolete and the store having a significant disposal value are non-consumable stores. And limited time asset stores are the LTAs are the stores which have a significant value when purchased but rapidly lose their value relevance with the lapse of time and have very little or negligible disposal value. So these are the items which are meant for immediate solution but lose their value during the 3 days or 4 days. If they are not used, then they lose their value. For example, you go to buy vegetables. You buy vegetables fresh. So the items which are not used are item which you go for non purchase 3 4 days. After 3 4 days, you will find the material as rotten and you will throw it or dump it. Okay. So items which are of insignificant value, which are of not of high purchase, which may happen 6 months or may happen once a year are purchased without quotation. But there is a process, though that process is that these are purchased by advance. Advance is given to the vendor. The advance is taken by the staff to the vendor and he purchases the item and the bill or receipt is supporting the items. Okay. Second is the purchaser making purchase directly from the seller and the payment being made by the accounting for project purchase, non-project purchase against the proper invoice or bill, proof of delivery, acceptance of the item by purchaser and entry in the appropriate stock register and asset register wherever relevant. So purchaser will purchase the item from the seller account. Uh, For example, you want to purchase the following items XYZ, you go to the seller and purchase the items XYZ and debit uh, debit the purchases and credit the supplier and you may settle the supplier, that is debit the supplier and credit bank. Okay. Third is through the store and purchase section. So in between, if you are unable to purchase, so stores and purchase section will purchase this, for which the quotation duly signed together with the purchase proposal approved by a director shall be sent to stores and purchase section for placing the order and further processes. Okay. So that is a very insignificant where you don't go for quotation. But where quotations are involved, though at least three quotations you must receive. Three quotations. Okay. So all the public sector, if you go to a public sector to sale or purchase, you will find that public sector purchases based on three quotations. Whatever is the minimum price, they will offer you that. Purchase up to a value prescribed by a company can be made inviting quotations from a minimum of three firms by a local purchase committee. So what will happen is that a committee will be formed which will have the purchase manager, the company ka CEO होगा और you will have the accounts manager. This will be a purchase committee. So they will invite the quotations and choose the one with the lowest available prices and uh, the purchase will happen through him. The notice inviting the quotation will be displayed on the company board. Quotation may be invited as per the procedure. Committee will select the comparative statement and forward its recommendation to source and quality purchase section for selected party with the approval of competent authority for placing purchase order. So what will happen is whatever are the purchases, they will be placed by the purchase department, but the quotation must be approved. So the three quotation which you receive, of which lowest quotation will be passed, and whoever has sent you the lowest quotation, he will be the winning person. So the quotation with the minimum price will given the contract to him, and you will buy from him. Any questions? Sir, somebody is saying you explain in English. Somebody is saying you explain in Hindi. So I will try to copy both of you by speaking in English and speaking in Hindi. Is that okay with you? Because I have to consider both the people, English people also and Hindi people also. Okay. So मैं अभी I will explain in Hindi that specifically जो लोग होते हैं जो कोटेशन में चलते हैं तो उसमें 3 कोटेशन चाहिए होती हैं। जब आपके पास 3 कोटेशन आती हैं, मिनिमम 3 कोटेशन चाहिए होती हैं, उसमें से लोएस्ट बिड को ऑफर दे देते हैं और 1 साल के लिए या 2 साल के लिए परचेजेस उसी से होती हैं। Okay, purchase of goods by purchase committee. So in case the urgency purchase can be done through a local purchase committee. So wherever urgent purchasing has to be done, it is done by local purchase committee consisting of at least 3 members होंगे. Committee should have 3 members. If required, a standing committee can be approved for a period of 1 year to make such purchases. So what will happen is the standing committee will consist of one, the purchase manager, second, the accounts officer, third, the managing director or CEO of the company. So अभी मेरे को 10 मिनट दीजिएगा, मैं अभी आपके सामने आता हूँ. Okay, so in case of urgency purchase, shall be done by a purchase committee consisting of 3 members. One will be accounts officer, one will be purchase manager, and one will be CEO or his designate. Okay. If required, a standing committee can be approved for a period of 1 year to make such purchases. For example, I was in Gangaram Hospital doing the internal audit. There they had the purchase committee consisting of the purchase manager, Mr. X, the accounts manager, Mr. Y, and the MD of that school or the dean of that school or the MD of that company. So generally they have 3 persons. The committee will survey the market to ascertain the recommendation reasonableness of rates. uh, यानी कि वो जाते हैं, रेट्स को चेक करते हैं और रेट्स रीजनेबल होने चाहिए, वो ये चेक करते हैं. क्वालिटी क्वालिटी भी अच्छी होनी चाहिए. एंड identify the appropriate supplier. So what they will do, they will check the quality, and based on the quality and the rates, they will identify the appropriate sellers. Based on the recommendation of the local purchase committee, the purchase order may be released by the stores and purchase section. The purchases shall be made only from the reputed sellers with valid sale tax registration or GST registration. So, for example, right now the requirement for the appropriate seller is to have GST number. So GST number is a must. Okay. There is a sale tax registration, CST registration, or what do you call it, GST registration, VAT registration, Shop Act registration. So there is a requirement that following registration are a must. PAN, that means the assessee is a income tax payee, and wherever relevant excise regulations. Okay, so 3 things are must. One is GST, he must have. Second is PAN, he must have, and wherever excise is applicable, he is bound to pay the excise duty. Okay, the seller must be manufacturer of the item or authorized dealer of the manufacturer of the item. For goods of high value prescribed by a company, goods जो ज़्यादा value के होंगे, the procurement will be by open tender, by advertisement. So company will advertise, give open tender, and vendors may come and apply to the tender. The advertised tender inquiry should be on the website of the company, as well as notice inviting tender displayed by the notice board. The company should also post the bidding documents in website. Suppose company wants that these bidding documents should be on this form or that form. So those forms should be uploaded on the website. In order to make the use of the document, download from the website. If such download bidding document is priced, there should be clear instruction for the bidder to pay the amount by demand, etc. So one is to have it in case they are priced. So bidder should pay the price by demand draft or by check, pays check. Or secondly, if they are not priced, then the documents can be downloaded from the website. The cost of purchase consists of the invoice price, including GST and taxes, freight in, and other expenditure which are directly attributable to the purchases. Okay, so Can you please explain without quotation? So, supply of these happens should be of irregular items. यानी कि कंपनी में ये आइटम्स रेगुलरली परचेज की नहीं है. सो दीज आइटम्स में इंक्लूड स्टेशनरी या बहुत रेयर कभी परचेज होता है तो ऑनेस्टली these items may involve just the cash and supporting bills. So accountant will go buy these materials and submit the supporting bills. Okay. Okay, students, you want to me to continue in English or in Hindi? So एक anonymous बच्चे ने पूछा है कि स्टूडेंट से पूछ लीजिए कि मैं आपको हिंदी में पढ़ाऊं कि इंग्लिश में, क्योंकि स्पेसिफिकली मेरे को बोला गया था कि इंग्लिश में पढ़ाऊं तो मैं इंग्लिश में पढ़ा रहा हूँ. अब बच्चे कह रहे हैं कि हिंदी में पढ़ाओ, तो अब मैं क्या करूं? हिंदी में पढ़ाऊं कि इंग्लिश में, या दोनों में मिक्स करूं? हिंदी, इंग्लिश और मिक्स, 3 ऑप्शंस आपके पास हैं. Okay, one is English. So ideally, I should teach in both the languages, English or Hindi. That is what the solution is. So I will try to explain in both the languages. So अभी हम चलते हैं पढ़ाई की ओर. द कॉस्ट, हमारी जो कॉस्ट है और परचेजेस, उसमें आप फॉलोइंग चीजें लेते हैं: परचेज प्राइस प्लस जीएसटी प्लस एक्साइज अगर उस पर प्रोडक्ट पे लगता है तो, और चौथा डायरेक्टली एट्रीब्यूटेबल कॉस्ट. अब ये चारों चीजें आपकी परचेज में आती हैं. यू विल get these 4 things: price of the product plus GST of the material plus the freight plus the expenditure directly attributable to the product. Okay, चलिए अब हम चलते हैं कि purchases through processes which are petty, यानी कि कंपनी ने थोड़ा सा एडवांस किसी को दे दिया एंड उस एडवांस को खर्च कर रही है परचेज के लिए. परचेजेस which are happening through petty advances. Petty advances, a small advance which is given by the accountant to the 2-3 people. परचेज मैनेजर को दे देगा, एडमिन के बंदे को दे देगा और 2-3 बंदों को और दे देगा. ओके. Petty advance is to be used for the reimbursement of purchase of item of specially insignificant amount and for minor expenditure. For example, दिवाली का एक आप बर्फी का डब्बा लाते हो पोस्टमैन को देने के लिए. This does not require the expenditure to be through tender or through the process of 3 quotations. You will just buy the material and give it to the postman. A cash sale receipt or other form of supporting document must be obtained by the person claiming petty cash as evidence of the expenditure. So evidence में जो वो देगा एक बिल और वही एविडेंस सफिशिएंट होता है. That evidence is sufficient. Okay, and no other receipt or no other evidence is available. The claimant must complete a statutory declaration form which must be duly authorized by a manager to validate the amount and nature of the expenditure being claimed. So what will the manager do? He will sign the voucher, and what will the purchaser do? He will bring the receipt and claim the amount. Prior to reimbursing individuals for expenses incurred, the custodian should examine the petty cash docket to ensure the following details have been completed. यानी कि prior to उससे पहले रिम्बर्स करने से पहले कस्टोडियन ये चेक करेगा कि कस्टोडियन के पास ये डॉक्यूमेंट्स होने चाहिए और उस डॉक्यूमेंट्स में ट्रांजैक्शन कंप्लीट दिखनी चाहिए, जैसे कि डेट, पर्पस डिटेल ऑफ द एक्सपेंडिचर, द अमाउंट पेड, द अकाउंट नंबर यूजिंग द यूज कोड and the signature of the claimant. So these all things, ये सब चीजें जरूरी हैं. These all things are necessary before the expenditure is incurred. If a staff member requires the advance for the purchase of an item for which the exact cost is not known, they should sign an appropriate record of the advance for the first instance. The record of the advance should be held in the cash tin and should detail the name of the person for whom the advance is given. यानी कि जब आप किसी को एडवांस दोगे तो यू शुड स्पेसिफाई आपने किसको दिया है, पर्पस ऑफ द एडवांस, यू शुड स्पेसिफाई द अमाउंट ऑफ द एडवांस and the signature of the person to whom the advance is given. On completion of purchases, the staff member is to return the change and a completed petty cash docket as detailed above for the exact amount of the purchase. यानी कि जब कंप्लीट हो जाएगी परचेज, स्टाफ मेंबर डॉकेट को और पेटी कैश को और आइटम जो परचेज किया है उसको वापस कर देगा, अकाउंटेंट के पास दे देगा. जर्नल एंट्री फॉर इन्वेंट्री के ट्रांजैक्शंस ये होती हैं. इन्वेंट्री परचेज जब होती है तो रॉ मटेरियल इन्वेंट्री डेबिट, मर्चेंडाइज इन्वेंट्री डेबिट टू अकाउंट्स पेबल, अकाउंट्स पेबल में उसका बिल जाता है. रिकॉर्ड प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट, प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट क्या होती है, ओवरहेड कॉस्ट होती है. ओवरकॉस्ट परचेज डेबिट टू अकाउंट्स पेबल. रिकॉर्ड प्रोडक्शन लेबर, ओरिजिनल ओवरहेड कॉस्ट पूल आप डेबिट करेंगे और टू वेजेस एक्सपेंस, वेजेस एक्सपेंस डेबिट टू पूल टू ओवरहेड पूल. मूव रॉ मटेरियल टू वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस, वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस की इन्वेंट्री डेबिट होती है टू रॉ मटेरियल इन्वेंट्री. रिकॉर्ड इन्वेंट्री स्क्रैप एंड स्पॉइलेज, वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस इन्वेंट्री क्रेडिट होगी, ओवरहेड कॉस्ट पूल में जाके डेबिट होगी. और रिकॉर्ड दी फिनिश गुड्स, यू विल डेबिट द फिनिश गुड्स इन्वेंट्री, फिनिश गुड्स डेबिट होंगे और वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस क्रेडिट होगा. allocate the overhead, you will allocate the overhead into work in progress, finished goods, cost of goods और credit होगा to overhead cost pool. सेल्स ट्रांजैक्शन में कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स को डेबिट करेंगे और फिनिश गुड्स को क्रेडिट करेंगे. ऑब्सोलीट इन्वेंट्री को कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड एक्सपेंसेस डेबिट और इन्वेंट्री को क्रेडिट करेंगे. वैसे मैं ये बता देता हूँ कि आपको 99 या 99.9% ये अश्योरेंस है कि एग्जाम में ये वाले क्वेश्चन ऐसे रूप में नहीं आएंगे, एंट्री के रूप में नहीं आएंगे, बट ये आपको पढ़ने के लिए दिया गया है और स्पेसिफिकली क्वेश्चन शायद आ जाए, मतलब 0.1% चांस है कि शायद आ जाए. तो स्पेसिफिकली पढ़ के जाइए। ओके, इश्यू ऑफ ओवरहेड फ्रॉम स्टोर्स। ओवरहेड को कैसे इशू करते हैं? During purchases in petty cash, so need bill in computerized and GST registration if pay. Yes. So whatever you do, whether you do a purchases with quotation or you do a purchases without quotation, GST registration is a must. So what you will do, suppose you purchase a material without bill or without quotation, you will go to the vendor, ask him to send you the bill. Bill should have the GST number and the GST amount. I will try to mix the languages for you. So this debate is never ending. So I will try to mix the language by saying in English first and Hindi second. Ab issue of material from store. So what will happen? जो आप देखेंगे वो देखेंगे कि मटेरियल इशू हो रहा है स्टोर से। मटेरियल रिसीव्ड एंड स्टोर्स आर इशूड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ स्टोर्स रिक्विजिशन, यानी कि स्टोर में स्टोर रिक्विजिशन आता है और फिर मटेरियल जाता है। बिल ऑफ मटेरियल, स्टॉक इन बैलेंस, प्रॉपर ऑथराइजेशन एंड प्राइसिंग मटेरियल इश्यूज। It is clear that ascertainment of accurate material cost, fixing of material issue, and effective cost control are the primary objective in order to fulfill the needs of management. So what will the management want is that things should be proper, and for proper things it is necessary to ensure a that cost of the material is accurate. Second, fixing the material issue. Third, the effective cost controls. These three things are implemented in the organization, so things will move in a smoother way. I will explain in Hindi. अगर आप चाहते हैं, मैनेजमेंट चाहती है कि कॉस्ट पे कंट्रोल हो, तो उसके लिए तीन चीजें जरूरी हैं। पहला, वो मटेरियल को इशू करती है और वो रिकॉर्ड होना चाहिए। दूसरा वो प्रॉपर ऑथराइजेशन से करेगी। तीसरा, वो मटेरियल की प्राइसिंग भी ढंग से करेगी। Material costing is very important in terms of the valuation of the cost of material consumed by the production department, as well as the terms of estimation of the value of material in stock. Material जो सबसे ज्यादा जो कॉस्टली होता है वो मटेरियल होता है। What is cost in the material? Material is the most important element in every company. So company measures the material cost in a very specific way. Material cost is very considered important and is considered a high cost. So आप यदि मैं हिंदी बोलता हूं तो आपके लिए सबसे ज्यादा कॉस्ट जो होती है वो मटेरियल की होती है। इसके लिए जो भी कुछ करना पड़े ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को ऑर्गेनाइजेशन करती है। For costing purposes, the material cost is worked out by actual costs incurred by taking price quoted from suppliers as the basis, subtracting the discount and adding other expenses not covered. So if you have to take the purchase cost, you will add any other cost which you have not covered and subtract the cash discount. Okay, suppose the supplier has given to you cash discount, you will subtract for the material cost. So अब मैं हिंदी में बोलता हूँ, जब आप मटेरियल परचेज को डेबिट करेंगे तो आप उसके अंदर उसमें जो भी कॉस्ट, मटेरियल हैंडलिंग चार्जेस, मटेरियल फ्रेट चार्जेस, वो सब डेबिट करेंगे और अगर आपको सप्लायर ने कुछ कैश डिस्काउंट दिया है वो आप लेस करेंगे. Issue of material are based on production program. Based on this and the bill of material, work orders are printed. Listing of each material quantity is to be issued against each component requiring that material. So आप जो मटेरियल है उसके आगे स्पेसिफिकली आप डिपार्टमेंट का या शॉप का नाम लिखेंगे. The storekeeper is very much concerned with the material control as he is responsible for the issue of material based on the proper authorization of material acquisition and bills of material. So हमारी यहाँ पर आगे इसमें हिंदी, हमारे यहाँ पर स्टोर कीपर की बहुत अहमियत होती है क्योंकि वही बंदा रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है और वही बंदा स्टोर की कॉस्ट डेबिट करता है. तो हम लोग स्टोर मैनेजर को इंपॉर्टेंस देंगे. एनी क्वेश्चंस नाउ? So I have now spoken in both languages, English as well as Hindi. I don't see that I speak only in English or I don't see that I speak only in Hindi. So what can I do in this case? Some students are from Kerala, they want only in English. Some students are not from Kerala, so they don't want in English. So I have to do justice to all of the students. So I have to speak first in English, then in Hindi. This will be acceptable to you all. Okay. Any questions for the time being? So first is the material requisition. Purchase or material requisition is also known as intent for materials. There a question may come that intent for material क्या होता है? Intent purchase या material requisition का document होता है. This is a document prepared by the production department for requisition of material is known as material requisition. So in case you need the material, what will you do? You issue the material requisition, and on material requisition, you give to stores, he will issue the material to you. अब ये हिंदी में बोलूंगा that अगर आपको कोई भी मटेरियल चाहिए तो उसके लिए आप मटेरियल रिक्विजिशन करेंगे साइन और स्टोर कीपर को देंगे, स्टोर कीपर आपके लिए मटेरियल देगा. So this storekeeper is authorized to issue the material based on the proper authority to avoid the misappropriation of material. So just to ensure that stock is not misappropriated, he will ensure that the manager signs the material requisition or material intent. Just I'll speak in Hindi. Just ये इंश्योर करने के लिए कि आपका मटेरियल मिस अप्रोप्रिएट तो नहीं हो रहा, तो ये मिस को मतलब मिस अप्रोप्रिएट नहीं हो रहा, तो वो स्टोर का रिक्विजिशन या स्टोर का इंडेंट वो मैनेजर के साइन मांगेगा. The storekeeper is responsible to maintain a series record of serial number of requisition, issues, and stock balance up to date and are must be posted in stores ledger. So what will be the store ledger? Store ledger will post all the items which are issued, and these material which are issued are properly signed by the manager. I will explain हिंदी. स्टोर लेजर में आप क्या चढ़ाते हैं वो उसके लिए स्टोर लेजर का रिकॉर्ड बहुत जरूरी है. उसके लिए इंडेंट आएगा और इंडेंट पे मैनेजर के साइन होंगे. That is all. 5:09 हो गए. That is all I have to say. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Bye.